Hello and welcome to Experimental Wednesdays. Just kidding, it's called MoGraph Moves. Today, we're going to be actually doing some digital painting. Hopefully everyone's doing well out there. Me doing some digital painting, and we're going to try to turn it into a 3D environment. It's going to be a two-part stream. It's going to be great. Today we're focused more on the creation aspect, and I think next stream we'll do some animating. I'm going to try out some different tricks that I have not yet tried, so we'll be getting into it. David Rick Smith, thanks for being here. Hope you're doing well. This I saw this video on. It's basically take a 2D image into After Effects, and it's a real neat process. You take, you kind of build like a very crude 3D environment with some planes, some solids, and you put a light on them, and then you essentially take your 2D image and it will project onto those different surfaces. And it creates this crazy illusion of, it's like kind of projection mapping, and I'm excited to try it out. We'll see if this painting serves that method well, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Sup, Cheese? Thanks for being here. Christopher's on his way to get his vaccine, so it's exciting. It's starting slowly but surely. I got my appointment scheduled yesterday. So we may, it's the signs of life are here. We may be back to the experience center sooner than we think. What do we got going on? Let me take a look at my other screen here. A blob. I'm gonna let this play for a bit. I did a little time-lapse recording up until the point which I got, which is a half-completed painting. So I was trying out something new and different, which is the airbrush pen. The airbrush pen, folks. This has some potential. This one. It came out kind of and was like aimed at, you know, the pro level products, so the Cintiq and Intuos. I believe it was around the time of Intuos 5 that it came out, so sort of that generation. And luckily all of the kind of older pens and are kind of forward compatible, so the older pens will work with the newer tablets, whereas the backwards compatible, I don't know, whatever, you get what I mean. The new Pro Pen 2 won't work on the older tablets because it's newer technology, but yeah, so airbrush pen is interesting. I'm gonna be kind of showing off what it does, or how I've been using it. But yeah, it has this little wheel on the top that kind of rotates like 45 degrees, and it does have less pressure sensitivity, just like objectively. And so normally in my painting process like this, I've said it on the stream, I've kind of showed what it is, but I use pressure to affect the color. So like I usually tie those, I don't know if you can, the two little swatches over on the left, the foreground and background color, they're called. I usually set that control to the pressure. So push down harder, you get towards one of them. If you ease up, you get towards the other color. And that way I can kind of do a monochromatic painting without having to like change my color constantly. And so that works really well with the Pro Pen 2. I did notice on this one when I was tying it to pressure, when I would like ease off of a stroke, it would leave, it would register basically me pulling away, and it would leave like a little splotch of like the color that I didn't want, basically. Whereas, which seems like it would almost be more sensitive, I guess, but I think it was just like the Pro Pen 2 can pick up that subtlety where I'm just backing off of a stroke, and so it leaves a little hint of the other color. And I feel like I have more control basically with the Pro Pen 2. So this one I could see where the pressure was a little less sophisticated, but it's still very good overall. I've been using this wheel though, and I've been trying to tie the color dynamics to the wheel, which I'll kind of show. But basically, yeah, it's like as you're painting, you can just be like also manipulating the wheel, and it will change between those two hues. And it's kind of interesting. It does feel actually a little cleaner than my normal technique of like the pressure color dynamics. And so because it's tied to the wheel, there's not that constant variation going on. And so I'm getting kind of these like more solid sort of like just more kind of like blocky sort of feel, where it's just more kind of solid colors, and not that sort of like constant variation with everything. So it's interesting. Yeah, a lot of people, the Pro Pen 2 comes with the Pro models. Yeah, that's the one that you would have, Todd, would be if it, the Intuos Pro and the Cintiq Pro. Those come with the Pro Pen 2. This guy. Beautiful. You know it, you love it. But yeah, a lot of people do this airbrush pen. They'll like, I think opacity is another thing you could tie it to. Yeah, you're a pro now. You got it. Yeah, they'll tie it to opacity, or you could tie it to, you could even tie this to brush size, which is another kind of interesting way. So there's, just having this little wheel is interesting. It opens up some unique opportunities. Hey, Meme Capable, how's it going? What's up, Arthur? Thanks for being here. I'm just talking through a little time lapse for the first half hour, just a digital painting that I was busting out. Yeah, I tend to, I feel like I see a lot of like concept art where you can tell there's a lot of build-up with like opacity, and I think people can make it look good. For me, I haven't figured out a way to paint in kind of that low opacity, like building up, without it looking kind of overly digital, if that makes sense. Like when you kind of see those layers like built up, if there's too many of them, sometimes it just looks just too much like, I don't know. It looks like digital watercolor, which it could fit whatever you're doing. It makes sense for concept art, but I kind of just like really like solid tones, I guess. But I'm gonna try it just because it might be rad. We'll see. But yeah, so for this painting, I had in mind trying to like create it for this 3D environment that I was gonna make in After Effects, like pseudo 3D. So I'm trying to basically make this like long corridor that the camera is going to go down. I want it to be really like spooky, because I'm imagining sort of that effect where it's like zooming in while simultaneously like the walls are like pulling back, you know what I mean? I forget I feel like that has a name, but yeah, Todd. I like just working more of that solid, bold paint strokes and sort of building up that way. But it's also totally just like, whatever works for your brain. For me, I think it's easier to get everything to have like a consistent treatment if I paint in kind of this like solid, almost like I'm painting in MS Paint where it's just like solid colors that I'm just like, you know, doing these different like sort of value shifts and whatnot. I feel like I can get like a consistent treatment that way, whereas like building up with like low opacity strokes, like you might have areas that feel really like watercolory, and then I don't know, like I just need like to have that level of commitment where it's just like solid shapes. Yeah, I think it's a matter of just discovering like what tools that you think kind of match the style you're going for. What's up, Kaz? How's it going? Yeah, I don't know. I could zoom in here. I'm definitely, this one is like, I just didn't have anything sketched out, and I was just sort of going free form on it. Once again, very Dark Souls inspired. That's just in my DNA at this point, so can't escape it. I was very much just like, I'm gonna stop. I had a few other iterations of like different environments I was gonna do, and for this one I just kind of went into it and was like, I'm just gonna do this one for me. Like I'm just gonna draw whatever like nerdy landscape, like castle scene that comes to mind. I'm not gonna try to think about it because I'm literally just trying to get something on the page. So thanks, Todd. Oh yeah, Kaz, you've been doing a lot of animating, so, and just drawing in general. I remember when I was in school, that's when I think I was at risk of like carpal tunnel for sure. I also just drew with like a 0.005 sized micron constantly, and that was like how I made things, was just like tiny little hash marks, and I would just try to do like full-sized images that way, and I just broke myself. Oh yeah, I should bring in that character. That would be sweet, actually, because that character that I was working on last stream has a little sci-fi kind of vibe to it. I do like that just interplay of like medieval sci-fi. It's very I don't know. I'm sure a lot of things have done it, but for some reason I think of like Star Trek, like the original series, where it's like there was always kind of these like Renaissance themed planets that they would go to. It's just like William Shatner and his crew roll up on this like alien planet, and everyone is dressed looking like a Renaissance fair or something. That was probably the origins of that. But I know, I need to watch more Star Trek. I always enjoy myself with it. It's like the Twilight Zone, but in space, basically. I like me some just episodic, like each episode has a self-contained moral to the story, and that's fun. I don't know. It works for my attention span. Oh, nice, Kaz, yeah. Going through brushes, yeah, man, I know I've been working digital for pretty much exclusively for at least a couple years now, so I like haven't had to buy. Right now I go through brushes if I'm painting like models, like miniatures, because painting on those like 3D surfaces really like is rough on a brush. But yeah, I feel that. It's hard to keep your brushes in good shape. Like I had like shampoo for my brushes. Like I would just try to keep that edge to everything, and like once one little hair starts going astray, you're just like, this brush is ruined. All right, some people make it work. My friend Molly, she does like amazing ink work and like intentionally uses really like jacked up brushes that are like, you get that really cool like dry brush kind of technique with. So save your brushes. You'll always find a use for them. Here I was, okay, so this is where I was messing really hard with the wheel. There's like those gradients in the background is like, as I'm making a stroke, I'm pulling back on the wheel to get towards the different color. I think I abandoned this background color because I'm just like, this is too much. But I think at this point I was like just wanting to add some other element. Yeah, that's, I was introduced to the original series, like for Star Trek, like right as the J.J. Abrams reboot came out, and so it was like just right around that time. And I think I have like the first season on Blu-ray, back when people bought Blu-rays, and yeah, I haven't watched all of it, but it's good fun. I know the Next Generation is on some streaming platform right now, and I was trying to get into it, but I'm just kind of bad at watching TV in general. Yeah, carrying around reams of paper. Yeah. There's something nice about having a sketchbook around just to be on the go with. But yeah, I definitely packing around my watercolor block to classes and stuff. Is this over? There's just like long periods where I just pause and like go off and do something else. A movie where they try to save the whales. Yeah, there was a lot of really like super cheesy just movies that were, I remember like, yeah, like Wrath of Khan. That's a classic. I think that's what put me off from Star Trek initially, though. I was just like, there's so many different series and they all have different movies, and where do you start? Khan! Wrath of Khan is amazing. Oh, thank you, Todd. I truly missed my time, you know. I should have been born in the 60s, so then I could have been a like D&D painter. D&D painter. A painter for Dragon magazine in the 80s. But then I would be like 70 now, so I mean, that might be cool. Might be cool. Yeah, Dragon magazine should come back. It's probably around still. I haven't looked into it. I found some old. I used to work at a thrift store, and I would kind of get first dibs on whatever came in, which was fun. Which I think, unlike some of the big thrift stores, normally like employees have to wait like 2 weeks for something. It has to like be on the floor for like 2 weeks before you could buy something. This one was just like this little mom and pop kind of thrift store, and anyway, like, yeah, I remember just getting like a box of Dragon magazines from the 80s, or probably 90s, late 90s, maybe even early 2000s. But they just had, I just picked them up because like the art was amazing on the inside. I really don't even play D&D. You are here at the right time. Yeah. Thank you, Todd. Thank you. Benedict Cumberbatch was great in that movie. Is that the one where like Spock meets himself, or is that was just the reboot? I don't remember, to be honest. Those new ones are sick though. People are complain and make jokes about J.J. Abrams and his lens flares, but it was a good movie. Oh yeah, I was like, maybe I'll do a stained glass window, and then I was like, that sounds hard right now. I think I abandoned this. I might try that, but I think a stained glass window, you want like an image made out of like kind of that mosaic tiles, and I don't know the world yet. I have to figure out what this world's about. I'm gonna skip ahead a little. I will get to actual live painting, but live painting. But yeah, I figured it's kind of entertaining to watch a time lapse more than just me trying to solve drawing problems live for 2 hours in real time. Spock meets Spock was a tearjerker. It was very sweet because it was the actual Leonard Nimoy. A true gem. Broken stained glass would be sick. I should do that. Oh, you know what I should do? This would be a great opportunity. I feel like I have to find it on my phone. There's a cemetery near my house that I go in little walks on every day, and there's this like mausoleum, and it has these like super decrepit, I think it must have been like fake wrought iron or something, like maybe it was actual wrought iron, but it has these windows that have these like decorations. It's like a image or some kind of like motif design, and it's all like falling apart, so it's like this like wrought iron that's all like drooping down and like decaying, and it's the most metal dopest thing ever, and now I have to find it. Maybe I'd use that as my reference. buried in my millions of photos that... Does anyone else just take screenshots of like everything and then because you think you're gonna like refer to it later and then you never do? Oh yeah. That was a good set. I didn't play the original Innistrad, but I played Shadows over Innistrad and Eldritch Moon. Those were solid. I feel like pretty much every Magic set I just get excited for. I like take breaks. I'll usually just sort of miss one or two sets, and then if one really grabs my attention, I'll either play it on Arena or pick up some packs, and like my partner and I will do like a mini draft with some friends or something. The next one looks pretty fun, though. It's basically Wizard College. So it's gonna be funny. Yeah, totally. I know that's a good. I've honestly done that sometimes. Oh, did I stop? No, I just stopped painting. Yeah, I will do that sometimes. Like, I'll just sift through some Magic cards and like look at the compositions and stuff, because I'm like, these guys know what they're doing. These are pro painters. You know, they're all working in the same format, so it's just interesting to see them all, like how they handle that little square and like what you can really pack in there. It is essentially Harry Potter, yeah. But you know, Harry Potter, but not Harry Potter. And so yeah, it looks fun. For some reason, like, I didn't get big into Kaldheim. What was the last set? I went pretty hard into Zendikar Rising. That one was good. That was a good draft set. Yeah, Strixhaven. And I would say like I mostly play just in person Magic the Gathering, but that Magic Arena is pretty addicting. Like I have to watch myself, because I'll like on Zendikar Rising I like bought like a lot of drafts, and I was like, man, I probably dropped like as much as a full price video game just on drafting. So it's fun though. Yeah, playing in person with your friends is like the best part, versus just getting mad at strangers who are better at the game than you. So in this painting, I continuously just shrink down the drawing, because I'm like, ultimately it's going to be this like zoom with like these like kind of parallax elements going on, and so I want there to be enough like space where it feels like we're zooming through the environment, like, and there's some give there. So I basically just keep shrinking down the canvas, or keep shrinking down the painting and like adding more and shrinking it down and adding more. So yeah, if you're trying to keep up with the standard environment, it's like pretty rough. I'm definitely not there. I think I was for a little bit. I had like a group of friends that, or like a play group, that were like pretty big time. Like they were trying to go to like pro tours and stuff like that. Not pro tours, but I guess so. Like just where a Grand Prix, where there was a couple in Portland that happened. And so like you can just go and sign up for a Grand Prix and like try to make it to the top tables, and it's fun. So they were getting into that, and like I think around the time of like Kaladesh was when I was doing that. Walking Ballista, I don't remember what the good cards were. It's like, what was the big one? There was some busted interaction that everyone was playing. It was like the Ether decks, I forget, whatever. But yeah, energy decks, yeah. There was like some really busted energy. Oh, Ether Works Wonder, that deck. Where you just cast off like free giant spells. Ether Works Wonder. That was a banger. I think it was like, oh yeah, and there was, yeah, our red-green energy aggro. That was a thing. Sorry, everyone who's here for art. We're talking Magic right now. Bear with us. So, yeah. Red-green energy aggro. Yeah, I think the Aetherworks Wonder one was like Teamer, I think. So it was like blue, green, red. Oh, thank you, Todd. Yeah, I realized at one point that I was kind of just doing like a monochromatic painting, which it still is, but more and more I was like trying to shift the hues a little. It's still all very kind of like that dusty violet, which is one of my faves. Yeah, I was watching a couple videos on shadows over the weekend, and just like basically, you know, like what color do you make shadows to make them convincing? I know, like, I remember I took this like one oil painting class a long time ago, and something interesting that they were saying was basically like, if your light source, your shadows are the complementary color of your light source, essentially. So like if you have a yellow light, the shadows are basically, you know, the inverse of your light source, because they are the, you know, the absence of light. So they are the opposite. So you would have purple shadows if you had a yellow light source. And I thought that was pretty interesting. Obviously, like, not, it's like very desaturated levels. Like, I don't think if you had just like lemon yellow and casting like a grape shadow, I mean, that might be a look, but it just looks like the LA Lakers at that point. But you know, like, you want to be in that sort of area. And I've been trying that, and it like doesn't work half the time, and I'm just always a little a little like just grappling. I sort of just do trial and error for my shadow colors at this point. You know, and that was not a video. That was from a class, Todd, a while back. But the video I was watching was, I think honestly I just searched like on YouTube like painting. I'll find it so I give the person credit. YouTube. It's like, yeah, I searched like painting shadows in Photoshop, and it's called Understanding Shadow Colors, Ambient Light Part 2. Marco Bucci? It's yeah, it's a cool video. To keep it simple, he is just painting like a sphere, but they look really convincing, and just kind of talks about how, like, you know, light is kind of bouncing all around, so like any given object picks up colors from sort of everything near it, if those are getting hit by light. So it was just like an interesting food for thought. But how I incorporate that into my own work is a kind of a matter of internalizing that and just like, how does this work for me? Thicker red half circle. Oh, it adds an ominous cloud over it. That's fun. Yeah, this little bit here. Yeah. And I think for me, the best way to like try out different shadow colors and experiment is if you're basically just doing all the local color at once. So just painting things kind of like as they were without any consideration to like shadow and highlights, and then kind of do like another whole pass where you're on a different layer where you're just blocking in shadows and highlights. I think working holistically like that, and then just being able to like change those shadow colors by doing like lock transparent pixels, or you could even just adjust the hue and saturation on just the shadows, like keeping the shadows all separate on a different layer is like probably the best way to figure it out. But on this one, I was just kind of going for it. So this is where I stop. And now I paint for real. I'm done cheating and showing a pre-recorded video. No, it's fun. I feel like I'm able to talk a little more when I'm just kind of watching a video versus actual going live, so that's nice. Let's quit that. Let's open ye old Photoshop. So I had some different... This is the other one I was going to work on before I left my hard drive at home. And so this one was very detailed. It's like I was trying to do this like office environment, and then like over on the left there's kind of these weird, like, the windows are sort of broken into these like polygons, and there's going to be like some sort of like landscape spilling out. It's going to be really deep, man. It's going to be like a statement on like the office, and I'm just kidding. I just was like, I'm trying to ground it and draw something like an actual environment. So this was my more restrained sort of drawing, and this one was where I was like, I'm going to paint a castle. So I stuck with this one. I might revisit the other one, but paint a castle, man. And then this one I was just like, these colors are really wild. But this was the same. I only spent like 30 minutes on, but I like this little tree here. Some kind of weird like back alley painting. I was playing this game called Disco Elysium, and I was pretty inspired by the art style. I posted a little on Discord, some screenshots, but yeah, I've been hype on that game. It's got a very, I don't know, impressionist kind of like paint style going on, and I've been digging it. Yeah, it's fun. It's yeah, it came out on PS4, which is why I picked it up, and they patched it pretty fast. Like it's solid now. I didn't really have any issues with it to begin with, but like they added some. It just felt pretty kind of clunky, like control wise, and they smoothed some of that stuff out. And I heard there was like kind of some game breaking bugs, and they apparently addressed those. So yeah, I'd say go for it. It's like the writing is like super punchy and like kind of hilarious and pretty very mature, I would say. But I'm into it. Okay, I'm gonna try something wild. I'm gonna try to do an overhead cam with my phone, and let's see if this works, because I want to show off my airbrush pen and how wonderful it is. I'm legit just jamming my phone into the pen holder on my Cintiq. It's a wonderful discovery that I had this morning. Yeah, I've been playing the Final Cut or whatever it's called, and it's all voice acted, which is different from the original game, which was just text. I really like the voice acting. I'm glad it's there. I think it adds a lot. I might have not stuck with it if I had to do all that reading. I'm still reading, but just having that there is nice. I tend to feel like I don't even skip the dialogue just because I want to hear people's voice, like finish their sentence basically. It would be great on Switch, I'm guessing. Like that seems a chill platform for it. Okay, does this work? Let's take a look. Oh, you see my my drafting table paint surface. It's pretty close. That doesn't really get us anywhere. Oh, I think it's zoomed in. Is that what's going on? Sorry guys. Thought I had this figured out. Yeah. Okay. Problem is I probably won't be drawing in that spot the whole time. Maybe I'll try to move my canvas over a little so I'm more in that area. Let's just close this. Oh, it froze. Why? Oh, okay. This might not be... Oh, I see. Sorry guys, troubleshooting. Siri, stop. This is a really jank method that I'm doing. I should probably get a tripod. Okay. It's important that you see the wheel. Hey Kaz, thanks for stopping in. Thank you for the kind words. Excited to see your project. Please keep us posted. Any updates? And we'll hopefully see you tomorrow for Homework Club. All right. I forgot how to paint. I'm probably gonna I don't really need my headphones. Gotta get comfortable here. Alright, so let's move this here. Don't know if I'll keep this. I got some greens, purples going on here together. All right. What happens if I flip the canvas? Now my world is turned upside down. I'm taking any suggestions for what should be in this environment. So far I have archways, broken archways, some kind of like church looking building, castle in the distance. I need more, just like more fodder. Maybe like a well. That could be something. Rocks. we got rocks. Wrought iron. Ooh. Yeah, that's right. Mossy rocks. I mean, yes, I do need more of those. It's true. Okay. So my other plan here is, I think I want to, just thinking of like value-wise, I want it to kind of get darker as it gets towards the foreground. So like value compositionally, I'm just thinking of, yeah, like basically dark to light. So the background is going to be really light in value, the foreground is going to be dark, and then mid-ground is in the middle. And hopefully that can help establish some space. Drawing rocks? Pretty much. I am rocking this painting. Okay, so we got some steps. Love me some steps. Guess I could look up a reference photo of something, but that wouldn't be fun. I'll take it for granted. Here we come. Here we go. Here for cheese, getting the vaccine. Love to hear it. He's leading the charge for the Experience Center crew. Gonna test it out for us. Just kidding. I got mine scheduled yesterday. I think it's next Saturday. I get to do a drive-through. Hello, Jello. How's it going? Welcome to Vaccine Talk. Oh, that drive-through. You know, see, they really should have. Well, we get into weird territory. I think a great plan would have been to equip like Taco Bells and you know, Taco Bells, In-N-Out, pretty much any, like they have capacity to, you know, take on some vaccines, administer some, just drive through and get your burger with a little side of Pfizer. They don't call me President Carter for nothing. I got those ideas. Alright, I'm defaulting to just painting the ground. Make the ground look cool. If you can't make the ground look cool, then I don't know what to tell you. So I always start there. Let's do another building. I think that would be nice. I'm going to flip back to this orientation because I think this is the one I want to go with. Let's add... Now I'm hungry for like some kind of drive-through. my tummy is like, give me a burger. Using that wheel, folks. I guess I could show off what that wheel do. Let me choose some wild colors here. I feel like we don't normally do a lot of like product-centric demos, but just let us do this one. I'm excited about the airbrush pen. Okay. So let's see. Ooh-hoo-hoo. Ooh-hoo-hoo. So I'm just kind of like pressing down on that wheel. Some nice gradient going on. Those colors are. I was doing one that was just black and white, and I was like, this is pretty sweet. I think I could do a whole painting. I mean, I am doing a whole painting with this. What am I talking about? It's my landscape right now. But like, I always made this like weird, like metallic looking kind of stuff. It's interesting. I know. I do need a soundboard that just has some goofy sound effects. Okay. I was trying to paint stuff on different layers to be able to sort it out easily when I bring this into After Effects, but the way that I'm just sort of figuring everything out as I go, I didn't really have a sketch for this. Like, it's kind of too hard to plan, so I'm just sort of doing this pretty naturalistically. Also doing some inefficient things like painting the background in behind things. I should probably just merge all these layers. No. Where's that background? Let's get that in there. What brush do I use? Right now I'm using the Kyle Webster brush. Get rid of some of these. So I'm using a brayer right now. It's from Kyle Webster Mega Pack. If you search for brayer, that's what I'm rocking. But I did some special stuff to it. Maybe. Let me try to pull it open for you. So, okay. So I chose the brayer, which is normally just a flat. It just paints, you know, a solid tone. It has some kind of texture to it. I do like it because it's like this sort of like chisel edge, or it's like a flat brush, which I find to be good for like architecture and environments, just because it's kind of blocky. That, or I think I've used a palette knife before. Graveyard through the archway. That's what's gonna happen. Thank you, David. Thank you. I was just floundering there. So yeah, let me just actually, I sort of just reset my brush. So let me do it again. But yeah, I go into brush settings, and then go to color dynamics. And normally, this is kind of my go-to is foreground, background, jitter. I assign that to pen pressure. And so whatever these two colors are, which are currently covered up by my hand, whatever these two colors are, the foreground, background, will be, you know, controlled by how hard you press, and you kind of get everything between those two values based on pressure. But I've been experimenting with the stylus wheel, which is on this airbrush pen. It got a little wheel on it, so I can control it that way. And I feel like it's been a little cleaner than my normal kind of pressure one, which I was talking about earlier. And I like that. I'm gonna actually add this to this folder because I think it disappeared on me. Airbrush. No, that's how it is. Okay. I need to get organized here on these layers, but it's kind of a wild stuff going on just because I was painting over a lot of stuff, so it's tricky. I shot myself in the foot. Okay, we're gonna have to paint through there. I need to merge some of this just to clean it up for myself. Let's go ahead and merge these. That. You know what, that can go away, actually. None of that is helpful. Actually, here, I like this one spot over here. Select inverse. Is that what I want? Yeah, that's all. That's all questionable. Okay. Now we're in business. Paint a graveyard. Where did my painting go? I don't know if I'm gonna 100% stick with this background layer, or this background color, but just gonna roll with it for now. All right. Let's go, sorry. New layer here. Just like, how many archways can I can I create? It does take like a little more thinking to use the wheel as opposed to pressure. Pressure just feels like if you assign the dark value to like I think it's the foreground color, then it's pretty intuitive. You're just like push down hard to get dark color, ease off to get the light color. Ooh, Red Sky of Gotham. I like it. Yeah, I'm kind of into it. It's like a kind of coral pink. Ground. Let's make this like a crumpled wall. This is kind of like I like working with a flat brush for architecture. Is like it just kind of makes these like planes that you're like maybe didn't intentionally do, but it just creates some interesting kind of volume going on. You're just like, okay, well, just gonna roll with that, add some highlights and pretend it was intentional. The pressure is on. Graveyard. Let's do it. It's gonna do. I'm gonna change my hue just a bit. Also trying to keep in mind scale here. This should be pretty small. Can't draw too large of headstones because I'm just trying to picture like this kind of where I'm going to draw this graveyard feels kind of on the same sort of plane, I guess, as as this section over here. So I'm just gonna, if I draw the headstones really large, like I think the scale kind of gets thrown out of whack. So let's go kind of small. Maybe add some grass here. Gonna introduce a new color. Don't know if I like that. Sometimes if I can't just select a color and it be cohesive, then I'm gonna take some of this like sky. I'm gonna turn the opacity down on my brush. And then you could set the mode to maybe overlay, or I'm just gonna try normal at first. But I'm just gonna sort of overlay this like red onto here, and then I'm gonna sample that color after like I've kind of introduced the more like environment color into it. Okay, and then we can like delete all that. Now I'll paint with these colors at full opacity. Hey Jess, how's it going? Yeah, this is why I could never just choose colors at random and hope for the best, because like this looks green here, but we're clearly in like the red sort of area, like some color theory going on, some shenanigans. I always like those like tests that are just like, these are the same color, but when you like put them next to different colors, they look completely different. Good. Grab some salad. That sounds healthy. Good work. that Todd emote is phenomenal. I'm so tempted to bring out one of the like oil brushes that will kind of mix colors for me, but since I've been doing this entire painting with the one brush, it would look weird if I did anything else, so we're rolling with it. But it's kind of interesting, like it feels, I mean, I'm definitely just figuring stuff out as I go, but like I do kind of like the blockiness of it. It's got kind of that concept art feel to it. I mean, I'm being overly generous to myself, but it feels like a professional game concept art. It kind of feels like The Last of Us concept art. No, that stuff is insane. Like, I mean, they do some like photo. They'll like bring in photos and like they'll even mix in like 3D into it and like also paint and like wrap it all up so it looks like a cohesive image. It's pretty wild. Definitely not what I'm going for, but I respect. I follow a couple of the concept artists who worked on that, and it's always mind-boggling. Let's get some dynamic stuff going on here. So I want this graveyard to be on a hill. Should think about light source. Light source. I think it's coming from the left, so I'm good. Painting those shadows. Let's do some more. Let's get some more interesting gravestones going on. Gotta have at least one cross. You don't really know if it's a graveyard unless it has a cross. I mean, does this universe even have this kind of... I have to think about my world building before I do this. This is probably not... It's probably not on Earth, so let's stick with like some kind of obelisk. I do like a statue. It's going to be a little more detailed. Yes, I like an angel statue, exactly. Let's see where my pillar's at. Oh, just covering everything. Well, it's okay, because it's going to move. So it'll reveal what's behind it. But we will put our angel statue over here. This is a spooky scene after all, so... Sketch this one out. Okay, that's all right. Paradise Destroyed. I don't know if I know what that is. Let me take a look. Or is that just like a... It's not a thing, but you're just being poetic. Paradise Destroyed. Oh, I see. I see. So poetic, Todd. This brush is very like clunky kind of when I'm trying to draw small. Should probably get something else going on here. What fits the look? We're going in. It's like a little blob, a little ghosty. Needs some. Posture check. Just get put on a rack and just stretched out. I should have one of those little posture like fixer little harnesses that like, I know there's ones that like buzz you every time you slouch. It would just constantly, my back would just go numb from. And even in, I was trying to be good and have like this upright Cintiq position. Okay. It's an angel. The octopus, stretching the arms out. Ah. Is there like a therapeutic like rack that I could be put on? One that like doesn't dismember you, but just like a chiropractor, just a medical rack. Stretch me out a little. My spine definitely needs a little readjusting. Draw some hands on this little spooky guy. I'm pretty zoomed in here, so it's like once again I'm doing pixel art. How do hand work? It's going to be so small that no one's going to see it, no one's going to care. Let's just keep it simple. Not too large. Oh my. Try and do like the prayer hands, the classic symbol. But they're very small, very pixelated. So we will just leave it at that. No, it needs to be on like a plinth. Okay, zoom out. Maybe. It's like a little Play-Doh boy. I think it just needs some good highlights here. And then it will read. Kind of have like a rough 2-point perspective thing that I'm trying to go for. I think this piece here probably shows off best, but just like kind of like some kind of vague perspective like that. That makes sense. Yeah, something. It's like a pretty wide shot, so I feel like the perspective can be a little wonky in certain areas. And Big Joe, thanks for tuning in. Thank you. It's a work in progress, but it's coming along. It's coming along. Getting really in here, in the nitty gritty right now. This is the big. I think I know which Joe this is. Maybe. Is this Wacom Joe? I'm using the airbrush pen. Having a good time with it. Trying it out. Wacom Joe indeed. Okay. Yeah, I was trying out some, just doing like tying the color dynamics to the wheel, and that's been fun. I feel like since I have this green in one area, I think it needs to like pop up elsewhere in the painting, unless I really want to draw attention to it. So probably end up adding just some of this like scattered throughout. It's kind of like gray green. This brush isn't the best for like little details. Okay, I am curious what it would look like if I tried messing with one of those like blender brushes. Just because I think I do like the chunkiness that's going on here, but there's just like some shadows and some colors that I would like to blend a bit more. But I'm guessing it will look kind of out of place. Let's take a look. Try out Illustration King. That sounds... I could use a little of that. And then I'm going to turn on sample from all layers. Hopefully that picks up. It's not doing a great job of blending. Cake brush. This might be Yeah. Yeah, I know it's been a while since our FAQ stream. That was fun. This brush actually kind of meshes with everything okay. The blending isn't super apparent, but I can at least try to sample some of these, like, actually, there we go. This brush could work. It's like, it's called the cake brush. It has a little thicker application, which I think would kind of matches the rest of the treatment, so might be able to roll with that. Yeah. Okay. Let's finish our situation over here. Still not convinced on that brush. I think I just need to stick with my brayer, y'all. It's just the one brush painting. Thank you, Jello. Thank you for the words of encouragement. It always helps. You're too kind. You're too kind. Facts. Facts only. Oh yeah. Well, well, Joe, if you want to coordinate if you can't wait, you want to coordinate a meetup at the Experience Center sometime this week. I'm sure we could spot you one. Just one. Maybe it's a bad I don't really go through my nibs like ever. I guess some people are heavier handed, or maybe I just need to work a little more. Oh, Joe, are you in Portland still, or are you elsewhere? Okay, let's see. We just need more little headstones. Luckily, they're pretty easy to draw with the way I'm doing it. Let's try and get like... Oh, okay. I've confused you with a different Joe. Okay. Saw the stream on a 7th Tower stream. Interesting. That must have been a raid or something that we did, or I don't know. Yeah, I don't go through my nibs, period. I mean, I use the plastic ones. The like felt ones, those ones, or the rubberized ones. Those ones for sure. Those wear down, but sometimes that extra drag is nice on those. Sometimes it's too much drag where it's like, this is more effort now because I'm working against this resistance. I just need to glide across the screen. Okay. I do like this, like these some little like rocks in here. That's fun. Gotta have rocks. Oh, okay, it was a raid. Nice. Either way, glad to have you here. gonna kind of try to like clean up some of these, the like bottoms of these headstones, and just add in some grass. See, this is where I hit it with that like oil brush, and it just doesn't have the same consistency. It has that like kind of blur sort of blending thing that is going on, and everything else, all my other like paint strokes are just really like crisp, so it just doesn't meld. I feel like the like painting style of like building up lots of opacity, doing lots of blending, it takes like a better knowledge of Photoshop than I have, because like I think to make things look really good, it's sort of like pile on more and more effects to tie everything together, and or maybe it's simpler than that, but either way, I haven't found a process that works, so I might as well be in MS Paint with my solid strokes. But if MS Paint picked up pressure sensitivity, you know, sign me up. Has MS Paint improved over the years, or am I just smack talking unnecessarily? Yeah. Oh yeah. The felt nibs just crumble. I mean, they hold up, but I think having that friction, they're just bound to go after some use. Maybe we do, I mean, the gate, wrought iron gate, let's see if it looks cheesy. Sometimes it's like a little cliche. Let me see if I draw it nicely, it'll fit. I need to think about scale. What kind of do the Pro Pen 2 use? I think, well, they come with the plastic one. I don't know like what the composition is exactly, but plastic and felt nib. Thank you, Todd. Thank you. It's coming together. I didn't have hope at first, but you just gotta stick with it. Gate. No, this brush isn't. This brush is not doing the detail. Scritchy pen. Let's try that. Basically, I need something that doesn't have like that kind of like soft edge going on, so it can be a challenge trying to find like brushes that complement each other. Okay, where is this gate? Let's plot that out. Maybe it's like attached to this. Oh. It's an opportunity for another archway. Just kidding. Holding the shift key, and sometimes it does this thing where it just like connects the two, like creates this like diagonal. It's kind of frustrating. They probably had to get away from the name MS Paint. It was time for a rebrand. What does the wrought iron fence look like? Let's do a little research. RIP. RIP MS Paint. I hope someone has like preserved it. It needs to be archived. Looking at reference photos. Iron Gate's pretty straightforward, huh? Okay, well, let's see where we're at before I get too far down that rabbit hole. I'd like to make some other kind of big move here. I'm not finished with that area, but I think it needs some kind of like some buildings behind it. Thanks for being here, Big Jill. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah. There should be some moss growing elsewhere. Oh, I covered up that. Yeah, I think that the grass needs to be in other aspects of the image. Just put this color kind of around some more spots. He's back. Was this your second dose? Cheese? Mr. Cheese? First dose. For extra stoke. Oh. Okay, this is where maybe a different brush is good. No, I keep saying that. Trying to draw organic shapes with a flat brush is a little tricky. It's LA have any extra stoke? Some stoke to go around. I need a round brush here. Sketchy pencil. No, let's get my dry brush going here. I'll do a quick compare and contrast. Airbrush versus Pro Pen 2. Oh my, it feels so different. Yeah, the pressure sensitivity is higher for sure. I can tell. This is why you gotta test this stuff for yourself. I'm always like, at one point, an idea was planted in my head that was like, well, the program only recognizes X amount of pressure, so more pressure doesn't matter. But I'm feeling it here and now, folks. It's real. Feeling is believing. That's our new tagline. We should do a whole what it's like to chew 5 gum style campaign, but what it's like to Wacom and then what it's like to use the Pro Pen to I'm dying inside. Alright. Well, this is fun. I like this little area. Some weird moss going on. See if I can define it a little more so it actually looks like something. Let's get a little line art in there. The Vogfather. Welcome. I feel like that's your signature entry emote with that lizard. It's good. It's memorable. Thanks for joining. We're painting some spooky stuff. Man, my layers are a joke right now. That's okay. I'm basically just gonna have to flatten this image when it's done and like cut it out into pieces and like repaint certain areas. I just can't be bothered to like plan ahead right now. I'm painting. I'm in my fun mode. I don't want to think. Probably turn this overhead camera off. It's probably not doing anything anymore. Now it's just like my hand just scratching. I showed off the airbrush pen, and that's pretty much what that was for. But thank you for your service, iPhone. Turn you off. Oh my god. Cut my art into pieces. Lurk away. Lurk, my child. Don't be a jerk, just lurk. That's fair. I guess that's like a, if you don't have anything nice to say, you know, don't say it at all kind of thing. Okay. That vaccine got you extra stoke in you. We're gonna get flagged for misinformation. A little extra stoke in your poke. That doesn't... I don't like that, now that I said it. Someone's gonna record, somebody's gonna clip that, and when I run for President Carter, they're gonna show that clip. And then it's gonna be a scandal. I couldn't type, I was laughing. You know what, Jello? That's... You know what that's called? That's called an angel. And that's what you are. Bob Twitch is gonna shut down our stream. The CEO of Twitch. Okay, I don't need to define everything. Gonna leave a little mystery here, but I did just want to get some of these stones in here. this wall, folks. This color combo is kind of doing it for me. It's like muted kind of magenta, a red violet with like a weird gray yellow green. I like it. I feel I've probably done it before, but this is one of those aha moments where I'm like, this is how I paint the rest of the painting. See, this area is, I did that dry brush, which is one of my favorite brushes. I like the treatment. And we compare that to this area, which is very, I was using that airbrush thing on, which is very like flat. Still cool. I think it could use a little of the dry brush treatment in some parts. But we'll do that later. Still laughing. I don't know if I can go on, guys. So I'll say something and be like, I can get over that, and then I'll just like, my mind is just keeps coming back up. We have to take a break. I mean, I am at my 2 o'clock, so I could stop here, but it's usually what happens. I, like, right at the end of the stream is when I hit a stride, and I'm like, this might actually turn out okay, and then I stop. For some reason, I think because I've done it quite a bit, like I've been, I think, subconsciously just trying to not do kind of the like overgrown theme in an image. Because I'm just like, oh, that's overdone, but when I do it, I have fun, and so that's probably a good sign that I should just do it. I'm gonna make this thing so overgrown now. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Good work. Congratulations, Jello. Making a sale. Dang. That's hard work. Yeah, that's legit. Selling art. That's, what is that like? I mean, like I did I should have done it more. I should probably still do it, but like a coffee shop, you know, show essentially, and I sold some stuff. I had just like some prints available, and I don't think I sold any originals, but sell some prints. It's great. I feel like these kind of paintings that are just more, I don't know if I would make a print out of this one, but if I had like a big body of work of like digital paintings that I all thought were good, then that would be fun. Do some prints, print it on canvas maybe, do some fancy. But yeah, congratulations, Jello. Selling art is difficult, so. No, it's totally understandable. Like, you should be stoked on it. I definitely haven't figured it out. It's like, well then. Now I feel like I need a third archway, because there's two. One of them's broken. This one. Everything should come in threes. Not really, but odd numbers. It's a better better design. Archway here. 2.5. Yeah, there you go. More archways. It could be something similar to an archway. I'm just trying to plot out, like, I'm not going to do it yet, but there has to be some kind of like foreground element. Where does this painting stop? I keep shrinking it down and adding more to it, but it's going to be basically like stairs. Stairs, whatever is going on here. This will kind of drop off. Or maybe it's like, I don't know, some maybe just wall here. And then spooky McDonald's. I should this is the origin story. It's a gritty reboot. Just called Donald's. No, that doesn't work. The Hamburglar. Maybe... I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll have to figure out what's going on this left side. Big plans. Big plans for this. I think it needs some like more... I want it to be like a township. So it needs some more like architecture. Some more buildings going on in the background. I think that might even just get me there. But yeah. At the very least, I got excited about an area. Like that's like this area here that I just worked on. I'm now into it. And so if I'm excited about that one little area, then the rest of it can kind of like grow from that point. Whereas before everything felt a little like kind of like half finished. So now if I think if I do basically a second pass on everything and add in some of this like mossiness, which I love just in general, it'll sort of tie things together. So that'll be fun. Hopefully I can finish that before next week. So it's pretty big. This is a large painting. Maybe I need to size this stuff up a little more, but yeah. Spooky meal. Alright, let's see here. I'm gonna go over to my just chatting. Alright, well, thank you everyone for hanging out. Get my mic over here. Yeah, we'll be back on Friday with Christopher. So look out for that. It's gonna be fun. And anyone who is doing homework club, we're gonna be doing another session tomorrow. So keep that in mind. I'll send out an email with the link for that. And yeah, everyone have a great rest of your Wednesday. Thank you, David, for the graveyard suggestions and the painting. And thanks, Jello. Congrats again on your sale. Vogfather, great to see you. Cheese, Megan, Todd, all the lurkers. Thanks for hanging out. You guys are the best. Yeah, we will catch you next time. Take care.